That morning, the old courthouse was thick with tension. Reporters jostled for a view, cameras hungry for every flicker of emotion. In the middle sat Samir Khan, a taxi driver with tired eyes, shackled by suspicion. The judge's gavel echoed, and the crowd's whispers felt like a storm about to break. Samir stared at his trembling hands. He was accused of murdering Adrian Wolf, a billionaire whose name weighed on every tongue. People saw only a poor man in a cheap suit, out of place among marble columns and polished shoes. But to Samir, it was more than fear. It was the ache of being invisible. The prosecutor's voice painted Samir as a desperate man with nothing to lose. The crowd wanted a villain, and Samir seemed to fit the part. But the truth was far more complicated than it first appeared. The evidence was a mountain, and Samir stood at its base. The prosecution played the security footage, a taxi parked outside Wolf's mansion, Samir stepping out. The time matched the night Adrian Wolf was killed. The jury leaned forward, eyes sharp, searching for guilt in the grainy images. A wallet was found in the bushes, Samir's fingerprints on it. The prosecutor's smile was thin and certain. Motive, means, and opportunity, he said, counting each word. Mr. Khan was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right man in the perfect place for murder. Samir's lawyer argued he was there to return a lost item, her voice trembling. But the jury did not seem convinced. They saw a poor man, a foreign name, and a billionaire's blood on the marble floor. The scales of justice tipped with every new piece of evidence. Samir sat, jaw clenched, eyes fixed on the floor. His silence was deafening. Some in the crowd began to nod, already certain of his guilt. The truth was slipping away, replaced by a story that was easier to believe. The trial dragged on, each day a little darker than the last. Samir's friends watched helplessly from the benches. His daughter, Layla, sat in the back, hands clasped tight. The city outside moved on, but inside, time seemed to freeze. Then came the moment no one expected. The prosecutor pressed Samir on the stand. "What did you say to Adrian Wolf that night?" he demanded. The courtroom waited, breathless. Samir looked up, his eyes shining with something fierce and fragile. For the first time he spoke, not to defend but to reveal. His voice was soft, almost a whisper. "I told him, 'I forgive you,'" he said. The words seemed to float in the air, delicate and powerful. The room went silent. Even the judge leaned forward. The prosecutor blinked, caught off guard. "Forgive him for what?" he snapped. Samir replied, "For what he did to me, for what he did to so many. I forgave him because I could not carry hate anymore." Samir's whisper changed everything. Doubt crept into the faces of the jury. Reporters scribbled frantically, sensing the shift. The prosecutor stammered, searching for certainty where there was now only confusion. The judge called for a recess, but the silence lingered. During the break, Layla approached her father, eyes full of tears. She held out a crumpled receipt. "Papa, you were with me that night. We bought medicine, remember?" The receipt had the date, the time, proof Samir could not have been at the mansion when Wolf died. The defense seized the moment, presenting the receipt. The jury leaned in, caught between two worlds, the story they had been told, and the truth now emerging. The prosecutor tried to object, but the evidence was clear. Samir's alibi was real. Just as hope returned, a new witness stepped forward, a nurse from the hospital. She testified that Adrian Wolfe had visited the ER that night, desperate and afraid. The pieces began to fit. As the nurse spoke, the courtroom seemed to lean in. She described Wolfe's panic, his fear of dying alone. He asked for Samir by name, she said. He said Samir was the only one who listened. The jury sat stunned, the story they had built crumbling. Samir remembered Wolfe's last ride, the billionaire now fragile and afraid. Wolfe had confessed to cheating Samir out of money years before. That night he had begged for forgiveness, and Samir, tired of bitterness, had whispered, "I forgive you." Wolfe's death was ruled a heart attack, not a murder. The evidence against Samir was just a trail of coincidences, twisted by fear and assumption. The judge's gavel came down, and Samir was free. The courthouse emptied, the city's noise returning. Samir walked outside, the sun warm on his face. Reporters shouted his name, but he only wanted to see his daughter. Layla ran into his arms, and for a moment, the world felt right again. Samir had spent his life feeling invisible, but in the end, his voice mattered. The jury had learned to look beyond wealth and status, to listen for what was real. Samir's story spread beyond the courtroom. People remembered the taxi driver who forgave, who spoke quietly but honestly. As the sun set, one thought remained. The truth does not belong to the loudest voice, but to the one who dares to speak it, even when the world is not listening.
What's something people don't know about stories? They never truly end. There's always a new adventure waiting for you. Just pick your next tale and I'll meet you there. Subscribe to the Story Circle and let me know which story I should tell next in the comments.